What's good, y'all? It's me, Chris, back here with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing how the fuck did I end up seeing Cats the movie? Like, really, how did I end up in that theater? But before we get into that, I just want to remind y'all that we are on a journey of building this channel to 500 subscribers. So if this is your first time stumbling upon my channel, I ask you to please watch this video in full, even go back and watch a few of my previous videos to get a feel of who I am and what I like to discuss here on this channel. And if you enjoy my content, I ask you to please subscribe and be a part of the Chris B. Nolan family. Every week, we are gaining new subscribers. We are currently sitting at 168, and I just want to again thank y'all as I always do. I really appreciate it. It means so much for y'all to sit down and watch the videos and just listen to the shit that I be talking about. Thank you. But let's get into this movie review. I just want to start off by saying that I have never seen a musical, a movie musical, with so many people who couldn't sing. There is only two competent singers in this whole entire movie, Jennifer Hudson and Jason Derulo. Y'all favorite, Taylor Shit, couldn't even perform. Like, the lack of talent that was displayed on this movie. Like, if y'all was casting people like Taylor Swift, listen, my email is available on all my social media sites. Like, meow, you know what I'm saying? I could have performed that. Like, imagine eating cereal with water. That is what it was like watching these performers sing, like just the ghetto of it all. So let me just back up and say that when I had first heard of this project being announced and the cast coming along, I was actually really excited. I really love Broadway musicals. I just went to go see Lion King for the very first time on Broadway. I have seen Dreamgirls the movie. I've seen Chicago. I've seen Les Mis. I love a show tune, okay? So the idea of this was very exciting and intriguing. I didn't know too much about Cats aside from it being a very popular Broadway production, but I was excited, right? So fast forward a few months later in the early fall when they finally released the first trailer. Girl, everyone was weirded out. That shit was creepy. I was confused. I was like, is this a horror movie? I didn't understand what was going on. So when they had released those trailers and even the second one, honestly, I was just like, I'm good. I don't want to spend my money on that. Not my money. So it came and it went. I actually found it to be really entertaining to watch reviews on YouTube and to read articles dragging the shit out of the movie. And then recently, about a week ago, my roommates had seen it twice and they thought it was so bad that it was so entertaining and wanted to see if I wanted to come along. And I was like, for free? Y'all buying? And they're like, yeah. So my roommates took me along to see Cats because I'm apparently very like expressive and I have good reactions. And so they just wanted to see me act a fool essentially in this movie theater. So I said, fuck it. Cats the movie is based on a popular Broadway musical of the same name. It's grossed over $4 billion. It's one of the longest running productions in Broadway history. It has a ton of Tony Awards, so it's very highly regarded in the theater community. So with all these accomplishments, you can tell that the production team definitely was trying to position it as this awards darling, this critically acclaimed film, this audience pleaser, right? You can tell that they had all the intentions for this to be some high piece of art. Boy, did all those intentions flop. There's a lot of talk of there not being a plot line in this movie, and I just want to debunk that and say that there is a plot line. It's very weak and it's very silly, but nonetheless, it is there. Pretty much that these cats gather around, and I'm not sure if it's annually, monthly, once a decade, but there's a time and a space in which these cats gather around in hopes that one of them will be chosen to sacrifice themselves so that way that they can die and be reborn and have a better life. So essentially, it's like a British feline cult. There's very little dialogue in this movie. I actually found out that in the original Broadway production, there's no dialogue in the movie. It's just musical number after musical number after musical number. So I think that they were trying to add some type of dialogue to make this more cinematic and give a little bit of context, but it still felt flat to me. I feel like I didn't learn anything extra from the extra lines that they added in between the musical numbers. There's very little character development and just quite frankly so much outdated music. Like none of the songs were good to me in my opinion, except for like the grand big finale song that Jennifer Hudson performed, Memory. I left the theater with that song in my head, so that was a good song to me. Jennifer Hudson never fails. I think that this was probably one of her best vocal performances, so I am glad that at least they gave the good song to her. The visual effects in this movie, y'all, were just as they were in the trailer. Like creepy as fuck, weird, cringy, uncomfortable, whatever adjective to describe me not feeling okay, that's what it was. You see how tense I was? That's how I was in the movie theater watching these people. There was one particular cat that was supposed to be like this magic cat, and honestly, he looked like a mouse. It was horrific. There was a scene in which I'll get into it later where Rebel Wilson had a costume reveal and it just looked so digital. There was a scene with dancing cockroaches. It all just made me so uncomfortable. They were supposed to be using like some new like state-of-the-art fur line technology. This was supposed to be like in the same lane of like the way Avatar made big waves and like introducing us to some type of visuals that had never been done before, but like it was horrible. I've seen better costume designs on the Broadway production, quite frankly, and in many other of movies that, to me, I didn't understand why this movie needed CGI, why it needed visual effects. Like, was there not a costume designer that was capable of this type of job? And also just to go into the costumes, like, it was so weird. And I get it, like, it makes sense in a Broadway production, but, like, these cats were wearing fur. It would be like if I was wearing human skin. I didn't understand it. Why are you wearing yourself, sir? Why are you wearing yourself? It didn't make any sense. And then they had human hands. And it wasn't like human-like hands. My nigga, Jennifer Hudson had fucking acrylic nails. You could see her hands and her acrylic nails. I did not get it. I did not get it. And then they had cat feet. Like, honestly, we could have just went full. I know that they wanted to stay kind of like, you know, give homage to the original production, but we could have went full on feline. We could have went full on cat. Instead, we got like these weird hybrids of like the cat humans, some Frankenstein shit. It was too much for me. Definitely, it is distracting. It is something that you will pay attention to the whole entire movie. There will be some motherfucking creeping up in your face. And yeah, I don't know. Like Judi Dench, it was really funny because Judi Dench and what is his name? Ian McKellen, who played Cats, low-key, they look the same. I was like, did y'all put on hair and makeup? Was y'all digitally? Like, y'all look the same. I don't know if that's like an elderly thing. I don't know if it's an elderly white thing. Could just be a white thing. But like, they look the same. They didn't even look like cats. I was like, oh, so y'all didn't try on them, huh? Hard times, man. Hard times. So first, I just want to go over the individual performances as they appeared on screen. So we are first introduced to Francesca Hayward. She was the first African-American woman to have like a principal role, principal position in any like major ballet production. So I think that's essentially why she was suggested for this role. She did give really good face. She gave great body language, but essentially it was a mute role. She didn't have many words. It was a lot of face acting. Also, her character very much was almost positioned as like this desirable cat, and a lot of the other male counterparts were fawning over her, which made it kind of uncomfortable because I thought she was just supposed to be introduced to this world and seeing like this essentially like time and space in which this sacrifice ceremony was going to be happening. So like this undertone of like flirtiness was very weird to me, but I do think she did a really good job nonetheless. She had two singing performances that I don't know, they didn't sound good to me. Sis could just stay with ballet. Then we had Rebel Wilson hop up on stage. She's tired. I'm tired of her. You see how exhausted I got just having to even mention her name? She did the same thing over and over. I don't understand how like a lot of times like in the movies in which she plays, the writings around her like makes fun of her fatness. They make fun of her. It's not like she's in on the joke. It's like, ha ha ha, look at Rebel Wilson act a damn fool. And that's what she did. There was a clip that had leaked on social media of the cockroach scene. Y'all, when you see it in the movie theater, it's even worse. It's even worse. She has a costume reveal that is horrible. She's dancing with these cockroaches that she's eating, and then like these little mouse come up that she's keeping as like her performance pets, and they were digitally done so weird. They look like they were human faces. Human faces. They look like children. Children human faces with ears on top of them. And mouse bodies. Ooh, when I tell you, I was like, just send her so she could go. And so those cockroaches and mouses can be free because this bitch is fucked up. But Rebel Wilson, tired. We were then introduced to James Corden. Another thing where they were just making fun of his fatness, doing the exact same thing he's done before that we've seen for him time and time and again. With those two, honestly, performances back to back, I just felt like they hired Rebel Wilson and James Corden and was like, hey, can you do what you do really well, but worse? But like low level tier, that's what it was to me. And like honestly, I'm just sick of these fat jokes too that's constantly that these movie productions participate in and shit like that. Like James Corden cat character, the whole motive of him wanting to be born again was so that way he could be a thin cat. And it's just like, y'all not tired? Y'all not tired? Okay, I guess when you make that much money for being made fun of being fat, I guess it's worth it to some people. Not to me. Then we had Idris Elba showing up as Macavity. Oh, sorry. I just want to say, like, I don't remember half of these cat names, so we're just going to call them by the Hollywood actors. We had Idris Elba showing up as Macavity. That shit was so weird when he took off his coat and you could see his abs. I didn't understand it. And then every time he left, he would meow. Meow. Like, what? It was, y'all want me to take him seriously as the villain? You want me to be scared of this man. You only want me to be scared of him because he's black. That's all. Like, that character was not intimidating whatsoever. I couldn't take him serious every time he was meowing. And that's the weird thing. I was like, are we going full-line cat in this movie or not? It just seemed like there wasn't no commitment, full commitment to a cat's life, to a cat's existence, aside from a random meow or a lick, or you would see some milk. But are y'all humans too? I didn't get it. Then we had Taylor Swift show up, and she had like the smallest role of actually anyone in this movie. I was really surprised. Essentially, it was just a cameo. Her whole motive in appearing in this movie was to literally like dick suck Macavity. It was to say like her whole song was about Macavity, like, and how wonderful he is and how he should be chosen to be sacrificed. Like, that was literally the existence of her character. And I was like, this seems a bit regressive in like characters written for women, that this woman, female cat, would appear only in regards to this nigga. Like, okay, that was interesting, but she showed up again with no rhythm and no vibrato. Like, she had a big grand song, and it was like, why are you taking up the space? I'm tired of people trying to convince us that Taylor Swift is some mega pop star performer. She's not. She's not. Y'all, they really trying to sell her as Beyonce, and it's like, she really should be more on the lane of like Sarah Bareilles or Alanis Morissette. Like, just sit there, play your guitar, and sing your like ethereal style songs. I don't want you on with cat ears on. It was weak. Very weak, unfortunately, with Taylor Swift. I mean, I didn't have any much expectations anyway, but at least she wasn't on my screen for very long. Then we had Jane Judi Dench appear as Deuteronomy. She is the cat in which she has the power to choose which cat will move on to the afterlife and be chosen as the sacrifice. She did what Judi Dench does. She was fine. Then we had Sir Ian McKellen appear as the old raggedy cat, old performer who was like on his last leg. And I said, girl, Magneto has fallen. Imagine. Poor Magneto. Poor Magneto. The things that he has resulted to. Now he over here singing on the stage to be sacrificed and be born again. God damn it. I was so upset. But yeah, that was Ian McKellen. We had Jason Derulo perform as like this funkadelic cat. He was actually fine to me. I would totally see Jason Derulo again. I think his song was a little underwhelming. You could tell definitely whoever wrote the song had in minds of like a James Brown, Prince, kind of like Rick James feel, but just didn't have their pulse on it. But Jason Derulo was fine. It seemed, it's funny, his performance didn't seem like he was begging to be sacrificed, unless I missed that. But like, I didn't get from his performance that he was looking to be sacrificed. But I pretty much think anyone who had a musical performance was trying to be chosen to be sacrificed, but he didn't have one. Or at least it didn't feel like that to me. And then all mixed in that was with Jennifer Hudson. She played the character of Griselda. She was this kind of like old, tired, worn out cat who has passed her prime, who used to be just as desirable and vivacious as Victoria, played by Francesca Hayward, but now she's kind of been shunned to a part of the cat community in which no one wants to interact with her, and they've just disregarded her. And I will say, they really did the black people the worst with the visual effects in the movie. Her digital CGI visual effects on her face just was so distracting. She was the least adapted to the cat animation, cat visual effects. Like, I kept thinking like, damn, they really did her dirty. They did all the black people dirty. One, J Hud was the one who got sacrificed, so of course you sacrifice a black woman, like always. Idris Elba was the villain. Of course, dark-skinned niggas always gotta be evil. Like, no type of reparations for these black people in this goddamn movie. And then Francesca Howard, however you pronounce her last name, I'm sorry. You couldn't even tell she was black. I was talking to my roommates and they were like, oh, she's black in real life? I was like, yes, that's her whole like claim to fame was being the first African-American woman to be lead in a ballet production, to have a principal role in a ballet production, and you couldn't even tell. They erased her blackness from the movie. I hated it. Special shout out to this actor that I was not familiar with. His name is Robbie Fairchild. He played opposite the male counterpart of Francesca Howard's character, Victoria. I thought he did a lovely job. Very captivating, drew my attention in the whole entire time. Luckily, whoever designed his cat didn't fuck up. It didn't feel too creepy, so I did enjoy his as well. But he wasn't mentioned in like the title credits. He doesn't have like his name on the marquee or the movie poster or anything like that. I don't think he's a well-known performer, but he did a lovely job, and I appreciated him. So like I said, Jennifer Hudson character chose not to sacrifice. They put her in this contraption, send her on up through a hot air balloon into the heavens, and you just watch her drift away. And right after that, all the cats assemble outside and are supposed to assemble for this grand final performance. And we get this super weird PSA after school special type tease from Judi Dench. And she breaks her fourth wall and she's talking to us about how humans are treating cats. So I'm like, wait, what? We didn't see not non-humans only one time in which she discarded the cat. And we are being preached at about how we treat cats when y'all's killing each other, when y'all sacrificing each other. That's the message of this movie? The treatment of them as cats? Even though they killing each other? Lord child, I was over. I was done at that point. I just want to know, like, at what point did they realize that this movie was trash? Like, I feel so bad for all the talent that was involved. Like, I'm sure all the dancers and all the actors were thinking that this was going to be well received and that this would be a major stepping stone in my career. And it just wasn't. Like, it just was not. It was a huge, huge failure. If you get a good laugh, if you love watching cringy things as a form of entertainment, then yeah, you'll enjoy this. I had enough one time. Now, if somebody wants to take me again to see it, I'll go. But will I pay my own money for this? Nah, I'm good. There's better shit to watch for free at home. Actually, there's more. I'd rather watch episode 11 Hip Hop than watch Cats again. That's how bad it was. But that's all my thoughts on this movie. Have y'all seen it? Why haven't you seen it? If you haven't, if you have seen it, what do you think about it? Please leave all your comments below. I would love to hear. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!